All right. Welcome to my live Christmas drawing for October 12th, 2022. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. Right before I went to go live, I had some issues with my internet. Apparently, I couldn't get my iPad to stream to my computer, so I had to restart everything. So that took an extra minute or two out of my time. But with that said, picture the date, December 17th, 1999. I get home from work. I'm excited for a new Christmas special to air on TV, and I turn on Fox, and I believe it was at 8 o'clock, and I saw a Christmas special that you don't see on TV too often, but that Christmas special I fell in love with right away, and that Christmas special was Olive the Other Reindeer. So, Olive the Other Reindeer was based off of a book, but the same animation people that do The Simpsons did this one, but it's a completely different style. So, the style of All of the Other Reindeer is more like a Parappa the Rapper, like a paper cutout type of a picture. But the Christmas special, I love it. I fell in love with it right away. It's cute. It's all about this little dog who was voiced by Drew Barrymore. And this dog's name is Olive. And in the Christmas special, now I should give a warning. I don't want to spoil it in case you haven't seen it. But then again, it came out in 1999. But this dog's name is Olive. And Christmas was in trouble. Santa was in trouble. He wasn't able to deliver. And he was on the radio where he said something to the effect of, um, you know, I'm going to need all of the other reindeer to help save Christmas. And Olive, the dog, always felt like she didn't fit in. So she thought all of a sudden, like, oh, I must be a reindeer. And that must be Santa asking for my help. So Olive goes on a little adventure to help save Christmas. It's a good cartoon. I say cartoon, but it's like I said, the animation style on it is it's something that you gotta just see. But Olive, obviously a dog, so doesn't have the special powers, but that's not going to stop her. She doesn't realize that. So what she does is gets tied to the other reindeer. So that's what I'm going to draw here. I'm just going to draw her being tied to the other reindeer as they're flying through the sky. And I'll draw a little bit of the characters on the ground or maybe some scene from the episode. I believe it's a is it a Rottweiler or a Terrier? Maybe it's a Terrier as a type of dog. But again, voiced by Drew Barrymore, so that was always a plus. And if you went into it, see, like back in the day when it came out, I was like, oh, I think they were advertising it as a Matt Groening or Matt Groening type animation. So I was expecting a little bit more Simpson-like, but it's definitely not Simpson-like. So if you go into it thinking you're going to get some Simpsons vibes, you're definitely not. I'm going to shrink Olive down a little bit there, because I'm not too sure what the character is. They don't really specify. But it's a thing with like Drew Barrymore voicing it. You just get like a female image in your head that Olive's a female, but I could be wrong. It's been a while since I saw it. This is actually one of the last VHS tapes that I bought in a clamshell. I know that sounds old, but like I said, the year was 1999 when it came out. So it probably didn't get released on anything until the following year. So it might have been around 2000 when I bought it. But I had it in a clamshell VHS, as well as Gremlins, I think I bought that day on VHS. So I'm just going to draw one of the reindeer up here, just checking down on them. The reindeer, they have nostrils that always reminded me of Mr. Horse from Ren and Stimpy. And I was like, no, sir, I don't like it. Just like the flaring nostril. It's always fun. Again, the animation style looks kind of cheesy here, but that's the way it was in the movie. Movie, special, whatever. And Olive is going to be tied to the reins because we got all the reins coming off the reindeer here. Another reindeer They'll put their tail up here. And this is another Christmas special where Ed Asner is the voice of Santa Claus. So if you're a fan of Ed Asner, he also does a Santa voice in this cartoon. All right, so there's all of our reindeer. Got Olive tied to the setup up there. I'm gonna do a little work on the bottom here for the bottom of the scene. So let me zoom down here. All right, let's see. We'll have them flying over, I guess some snowy plains, and we'll have some trees. And there's a penguin in the movie. His name is Martini. He's I don't want to say like a Frank Sinatra type character, but so he's similar to that. So we're gonna have him just floating on an iceberg here. I don't know when the last time I saw this on TV was. It's probably been quite a while. I know a few years back I also bought a book, a set that came with the hardcover book, and came with a little olive plush. And trying to think what else came in there. I know there was a few other things in there. I think it was like some Olive the Other Reindeer Christmas cards. I just tossed those right into the book and put the plush with our Christmas ornament. So every year I do have a little olive that kind of comes out and hangs out. So when we get a little bit closer to Christmas, wink wink, I will take a picture of my olive plush. Maybe I'll put that out. So this is Martini the Penguin. There's a whole cast of characters in this special. There's a lot of voices you'll recognize. There's one, the mailman. He's played by Tim Meadows. He's what's the villain in the movie called? An antagonist? Antagonist. But he's the villain in the movie. He's trying to stop Christmas from coming. Again, I don't want to spoil it, but I think that's going to be my rough outline for Olive flying with the other reindeer, and Martini kind of floating down there on his iceberg. So we'll open up our next layer here and we'll start inking. Now, like I said, the style on this is very unique. There's no hard outlines on anything. Everything's kind of like paper cutout. Now, in the special, when a character would move, like for example, if Olive turned his or her head, it would just be flat, like paper. You got to imagine just paper folding. It's not animated like 3D. It's hard to explain. But again, if you know the video game Parappa the Rapper, it's that style. So we'll have Olive's little string hanging there. We'll do her little harness thing here. This other leg. Again, just really flowing, kind of fun. Trying to think what else I could say about the special without ruining too much stuff. I don't know if it's on TV. Catch it. I'm gonna try to look it up and see if they plan on airing it anymore. Again, it's probably out of the zeitgeist and not a lot of people think about it, but I enjoy it. And we'll put some little motion lines around Olive's feet here by the tail because it's extremely happy. And I'm going to outline the different... Nah, it looks weird. I won't outline the color changes. I'll just do them when I do the color. So we're going to head up here to the reindeer. I can't remember which reindeer. Obviously, there's Santa's reindeers, but I can't remember which one is which. But at first, they're not too into the idea of Olive coming there. I was just trying to see what that sound was. I forgot before I came down a little bit earlier, and I put a virtual fireplace on, so I hear some crackling going on in the background, and I just got nervous. I didn't know what that was. Okay, so the harness here is going to come in front of the face. So once I bring this harness up here, I'll have to erase some of the lines that I put through there. So it's only a couple here. There we go. Then I got to go back here and connect that. And we'll do the back end and some more harness pieces there. And that's going to do it for that reindeer. Then we'll just do the back end of this reindeer. And then we'll move on to the bottom and Martini. Perfect. And we'll do Martini here. We'll erase for the trees. It's kind of like the trees that I just drew the other day when I was drawing the Christmas catalog cover. Just put a little bit of snow in front of it. I'll make this one snow covered. It's like a nice cartoony, snowy Christmas tree. A little bit of snow in the front of that one as well. And we'll do a water edge line here. And we'll add a little depth to it. Then we'll draw Martini. We'll get real close in on him here. I forget who does the voice for Martini. There's quite a few voices from The Simpsons in the cartoon as well. And we'll do Martini's little feet. Then the iceberg that he's standing on. Then we could jump to the color layer and finish up for today. All right, we're going to add the depth to this as well. Can make that coming off the screen there. I didn't like that little piece that came up on the edge there. All right, that looks good for the iceberg. We'll put a couple of waves in the water just to show some motion. We'll eliminate our pencil layer. We'll scruff up the characters a little bit here. I always like kind of on an elbow bend doing a little twirl Same thing on the knees. Yeah, I don't like the one the knees on him there. We'll put a few little misplaced hairs up here on Olive. Definitely have to have some on the face. Because Olive's really, really struggling here to fly. We're going to put a little bit of a sweat drip there. I'm going to make sure everything's closed up here, because then we're going to fill everything in. And then we're good. I'll put the other part of the eye here for that reindeer. Perfect. All right, that looks good. So now we're going to turn this into the reference layer, and then we're going to add another layer and start filling our colors in. Okay, so Martini, classic penguin. We're going to start at the bottom with the characters and work our way up. So we're just going to do a black and white, but I'm not a fan of filling in black completely, so we're going to do it a little bit of an off black color. And his nose and feet are yellow. And the front of the penguin obviously is going to be white. So we'll add a little bit of blue highlights when we highlight some of that stuff in. Now we're going to go to the tree, evergreen tree. We're going to put a little bit of snow on them. This one I kind of drew it in so it won't fill in. I guess I could cheap my way out of this and just erase it. That still works. So I'm basically just erasing the green. And we'll do a little bit more on this one. That's good. Then we will head up to Olive. So Olive is basically all white. So I'm going to fill her in and off white just so I can kind of see where everything is, and then her or his, whatever Olive is, coloring is a tannish color. But what I'm going to do so I don't go outside of the lines is just going to select it, because the front of Olive has a coloring like that. I wonder if this will... Nah, I didn't think that would. All right, so what I'm going to do is just fill all that in. And again, with selecting it, makes it easy that I don't go outside of the lines. And then this ear in the back is going to be a little bit darker just because of the shadowing. And we will select the back part here because Olive has a little... That's a little too large. A little brown spot back there. And then we'll do the nose. So Olive's nose is black. That one I could fill in black because I didn't do any detailing on it. Olive's eyes are black as well. And then Olive's lips or mouth, like a reddish brown type of tone. And then we'll add that little bit of sweat here to Olive's head. We'll shrink this down a little bit. And that's basically all of Olive's coloring. It's not really anything too exciting. Then we'll go to the reindeer. Now your reindeer, your classic reindeer coloring, not anything. I just saw that open gap there. So let me close that real quick. I don't know how I didn't notice that before. I guess there's other things I look at and I don't pay attention. There we go. Back to the color layer. Back to the reindeer color I was using. And we'll fill in all of our gaps here. And then I'm going to change a couple parts of the coloring here. All right, so I'm going to do a lighter color. I'm going to do this selection tool again like I did before. And the bottom half of this reindeer is going to be actually a different color than the head. Not sure why, that's just how it is in the show. And the nose is a bit of a different color. The antlers are an off-white. The eyes are kind of like a reddish brown. So we're just going to stick with this color here. Fill this in manually. And this one's not Rudolph because it's not in the front. But all the reindeer do have a reddish colored nose like that. And then the harness, that's going to be a true bright red. And then the bells on the harness are silver. So we'll add those. And then we'll go to this reindeer up in the front here. Again, a bit of a tannish brown color. Let me just fill it in, and I'll make part of it a little bit darker. Like that part. That'll work for me. Now we'll do the background. Actually, let me do this little dangling rope that Olive's hanging by here. We'll just color this grayish blue color. Perfect. Then we'll do our background, and then we'll do our shadows and highlights. All right, so this scene down on the snow, it's like your white, icy type snow. This is an iceberg. Most of this is the water there is going to be the bluish color. I got to see where I have that open. Somewhere on top, I think. Let's see. I think I see it, but I just have to make sure. Just this little piece right there. If that's the case, this should fix it. We'll go back to our white. Yep, there we go. And then the sides are going to be a little bit darker. Same thing with that. Sides of the water here, we'll make them a little darker. Like that. Two more. Oops. This one. Perfect. Then we'll do blue highlights when we do the top of the snow. I think, yeah, there's something open somewhere, but that's all right. So what I'm going to do here is select the sky. I filled all that in on the reference layer, but no big deal. It should be all right. All right, so we're going to fill in the sky color here, and we're going to go with a dark blue. Yeah, I got to do that on the other layer. I see what I did. Let me try it now. Hey, you make mistakes, you learn, and then you do them again next time you're on. All right, that'll work. Then we'll add some snow, some falling driven snow in the sky, just because I kind of like the look of that. So we're going to go to Elements, Driven Snow. Well, that's a little too much going on there. We'll fill that in. I have to go back and do it on this layer as well, since I kind of messed up there. And then what I'm going to do is do it over the whole thing, just so it doesn't look too weird. That way it'll cover all the characters. But I'm going to do their shadowing first real quick. So we'll do a layer of shadow and some highlights for the water and the snow, and then we'll pack it in. All right, so I'll start with the top reindeer here. Nothing too crazy. We'll just add little bits of shadowing here and there. Then we'll head over to Olive. Give her some shadow work. These back legs are going to be a layer darker than the fronts just because they're in the back. That's good there. Head down to Martini. Not too much on him to do. The bottom of his nose. A little bit in the tree. And I'm going to go to the reference layer and do some of the work on there since I messed up before. It'll just be easier to do it this way than to go and change all the layers that I did. Then we'll hit up light blue. Sometimes on snow you want that highlight. You want it to give it that icy look, so you hit it up with some light blue. A little bit on the trees, a little bit down here by Martini. And I think we have a winner. So I'm going to sign the bottom and get to the calligraphy pencil. And let's see. Let's sign it over here today. So today is October 12th, 2022. And that is our All of the Other Reindeer live Christmas drawing for October 12th, 2022. Thank you guys for watching. I will be back next Wednesday at 6:30. Hopefully I'll be right on time next time. And follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Both of those are at Ague Designs, AGUEDESIGNS. Actually, I don't think that's the name on Twitter. Don't worry about following me over there. But it's on Instagram for sure. And you could always check out Closer to Christmas. That's a podcast and an account you could follow over there too. But yeah, Instagram, daily Christmas drawings. So I'll be back next week. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good week.